Hey everybody, what's up y'all? Welcome back to my channel. Tammy Talks here. Let's talk Married at First Sight, San Diego, season 15, episode 10, Moody Month Anniversaries. If you're brand new to my channel, I do breakdowns on various TV shows, both scripted and reality, interjecting my own thoughts, opinions, and theories into each and every recap. So, if you enjoy this type of content, please consider subscribing to the channel. We are on a hunt, trying to get to 6,000 by my birthday, which is the end of the month. So I need 350 of y'all to go ahead and click subscribe, because y'all are watching. So go ahead, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video, hop in the comment section so we can talk about Justin and Alexis. Before we get started, a huge thank you to the people that sent super chats last week. Natasha Genty, Geraldine Williams, and Claudia Cornejo. Huge thank you. I truly appreciate all of the support from all four of you, and then just from everybody that's been watching the channel, the Cash Apps, the Venmos, all of that stuff. I appreciate everything. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with Justin and Alexis. So we see Justin out fishing with his brother. Okay, the Ninja Turtle is back. And Justin said the married life is challenging. Okay, he discovered that he has random outbursts, and we get a flashback of him having his usual verbal diarrhea where he's talking in circles and not making sense. And he said that no one has ever called him out on it, and I find that hard to believe, because most people that have random outbursts like that are called out on it. It just depends on how somebody calls them out on it. You know what I mean? So he said that no one has ever called him out on it. And he's trying to learn how to control that, do a better job of that himself. So then we have Alexis, who is hanging out with her friend. And she feels like she's in a constant emotional roller coaster. She said he doesn't self-regulate. And while that might seem like a very small thing, that is huge. People have to learn how to self-soothe. As an adult, you should be able to self-soothe yourselves to some degree. I know that some people can't. But you should be able to self-soothe yourself in a healthy way. I'm trying to say this delicately. You want to be able to self-soothe yourself in a delicate way, and you want to be able to self-regulate yourself. And the fact that Justin cannot self-regulate himself puts a lot of that onto Alexis, who, for her own sanity, her own emotional stability, has to self-regulate for him. So, and she says that an example of that is her just kind of being like, I feel like you're getting upset, let's step away for a moment. And then he comes back and it's like, yeah, you were right, I needed to step away. So that's something that Justin has to work on, because that's a lot to put on a person. And what that's doing is it's making her kind of shut herself down and go into like, let me take care of you mode. And when a person is doing that, you start to see them shutting down, and you start to see their light being dimmed. And I know that a lot of people don't like Alexis. Alexis has done a lot of questionable things throughout this process. I am on the record of saying that she does not like Justin, and y'all call me crazy and every name under the book. She doesn't like Justin, which is why we have seen such a change in her demeanor, which is why we have seen that she's not the same bubbly person that she once was. And it's because she does not like this man, and the fact that she already doesn't like him, but she has to spend so much of her energy, so much of her time trying to make sure that he's emotionally okay and stable, so that it doesn't blow back onto her. It's draining. So her friend asks her, if tomorrow was decision day, what would you say? Morgan. Alexis said that if she were to say yes, she wouldn't be comfortable with it. If she were to say no, she wouldn't be comfortable with it. She doesn't know what she wants to do. So they are making 1 month anniversary, like a 1 month anniversary like book for each other. And she keeps pulling up these pictures trying to show Justin, and he doesn't seem like he's into it. I don't know if it was just me, but like she would be like, hey, look at this picture. Look at this picture. Look at this picture. And he would just be sitting there like, Yeah, that it was fun. Like he didn't really seem to be like into it. And I think that Justin is starting to shut down as well. And I think a lot of it is because one, he's not able to articulate himself effectively and correctly, and two, I don't like the fights and the arguments. They're not working for him. Justin's a people pleaser, so he wants to please her in every way that he can. The fact that he's not doing that, he's putting all this pressure on himself and he's wearing himself down. So he tells her that he went to talk to his brother and he realized that he was trying to work on everything at one time instead of trying to, tackle one issue at a time. And then he says he feels like it's too late. So she was like, too late for what? Like, does that mean you're going to give up? Or like, what does that mean? He said it means that, they only have 4 weeks left and they just don't have enough time to fix everything or like correct anything. So she tells him, think of it this way. We have time to make up for mistakes. We've both made mistakes. We both have time to fix this, right? So just one mistake that we made a couple of weeks ago doesn't overshadow everything that's ever happened. In her confessional, she said that if they were not married, they wouldn't still be together. And she said in this instance, it has nothing to do with her being a runner or a track star. It has more to do with they had too much pain so soon. See, Alexis is not over the fact that his dog attacked her dog because you weren't honest about your dog's behavioral problems. So that's a big deal for her. So that's what's really wearing her down. I think the fact that you were crying over Ben in Morgan, I don't think that helped. I think that the argument at the candy store, like, it's so many different things that I can see why, if they weren't married, why Alexis would be like, nah, this ain't the move. I can see. So she said they don't think of it as they don't have any time left. They have just enough time left. If they truly want to be in this marriage and they are really committed to each other and they want to make it work, they can, because they have had a lot of good times. Let her tell it. I mean, we ain't seen no good times since the honeymoon, but girl, if you said y'all had good times, y'all had good times. So later we have a group dinner. They're all sitting around, and you know how these group dinners go very soon after like the halfway mark, where everybody kind of goes around the table. So how's your marriage going? How's it going? What have you learned so far? So after all the other 3 couples, because Ben and Morgan don't come, Avi. So after all the 3 couples go around and they're giving each other good feedback and no one's getting upset and they're taking things in stride and all this other stuff, Alexis decides that she doesn't want to talk. She just wants to listen. In her confessional, she said that she doesn't want to talk about how she does not feel that Justin has not made any progress at all when he's out here commenting on everybody else's progress. Because after Kristen and Mitch kind of had their but they worked it out like adults, he congratulated and commended Mitch on his progress and all this other stuff, and you can see that Alexis had an issue with that. She had an issue with that. So Justin kind of looks over and says, you don't have nothing to say? And she was like, no. He was like, I guess it's just, you don't have anything to say. And I feel like he made it a bigger deal than it needs to be. Now, I guess I get on one hand, like, Alexis always has something to say, but I feel like take that as a sign, babe. If someone tells you, and we're in a group setting, I don't want to talk about their relationship, take that as a sign. Take that as a sign. Speak up for both of them. Then say, you Justin, then you say, you know what, I think we're progressing pretty well. We've had some bumps in the road, but, we're working towards, a healthier relationship. We're working towards better communication. You could have said it like that and left it at that. So Justin made this into a bigger issue than it needed to be. So then he was like, it bothered him because he thought that they were doing okay. And she was like, we're doing fine. She was like, if I talked to you about everything, if I didn't feel like we were doing fine, I would tell you. And I guess, I agree with that. We have seen Alexis be very vocal with Justin. So Justin is like, kind of muttering about how he wants her to talk. So then it becomes, why do you want me to say something so bad? And it's like, I don't want you to say anything. I'm just saying it's odd that you didn't. And I mean, like, Justin, babe, what are you trying to say? I could not have a conversation with Justin, because people that talk in circles like that is extremely frustrating to me. Because on one hand, Justin is saying, you don't have to say anything. I don't want you to say anything if you don't want to. But on the other hand, you're saying, but it kind of bothers me that you don't want to say anything. So you do want her to say something. You do want her to say something. You do. You do. So Alexis was like, fine, since you want me to say something. And everybody was like, no, girl, you ain't got to say nothing. Like, don't even worry about it, bruh. You ain't got to say a damn. So Alexis said that you don't self-regulate. She was like, because she feels like he gets into these moods where he starts pouting because he can't articulate or get out what, he really is thinking. She tells him, I want you to be consistent because I don't know what person I'm going to get. She said it sounds like he's Jekyll and Hyde. I feel like she said it wrong. I can't remember how she said it, but I'm sure she said it wrong. So then he asked, what have I done in this moment? And she was like, well, kind of in this moment where, like, now you don't want to say anything. You're being tit for tat because I didn't want to say anything. And I agree that was true. Because if Justin did not want to say anything, then he wouldn't have had an issue with her not wanting to say anything either. You see what I'm saying? So Lindy is over there and was like, if Tree doesn't eat his food, I'll eat it. And I'm like, girl, why are you calling him Tree? Don't call him Tree. Justin, don't let them call you Tree. I don't like it. So then Alexis is like, girl, go ahead because he's busy pouting. And it's like, Alexis, this is another example of you doing too damn much. Now, I've been rocking with you in this arena up until now. Why did you say that? Why would you say that? Like, Alexis is like, she likes to kick Justin when he's down. Like, I feel like she likes to kick him when he's down. So she then tells him that she knows that he is trying, but that doesn't make her hurt any less. It doesn't make you hurt any less. I get that you're trying, but if I'm hurt by something, then I'm hurt by something. So then Justin asks again, what have I done in this moment to make you feel this way? And she was like, again, why are you stuck on this moment when I'm talking about the relationship as a whole? So then he kind of feels, he gets frustrated. So she gets up and she leaves the table. And Stasha gets up and follows after her. So to all y'all that was saying, well, they're not really friends. Stasha doesn't like her. They're friends, y'all. They're friends. I don't know why y'all thought that they were going to fight or that they wouldn't get along. We have seen Alexis give Stasha a tissue and everything else. I think the ladies on the show are all extremely close. I think they all get along very well. So Alexis leaves the table and Stasha follows after her to the bathroom. And she's in there saying, like, this is what I'm frustrated about. She wants some validation that I'm not crazy. Y'all are seeing how he be acting, right? Meanwhile, Justin is outside with production. And he's like, I just don't know what to do. I mean, I thought I was doing okay. And production is telling Justin, sometimes you got to give her some space. Justin feels that sometimes he needs space. And he just doesn't know what he's doing wrong. Alexis is looking for an out, right? Which we all know. Alexis is finding any and every reason that she can, which I've been saying since Jump, she's finding any and every reason that she can to walk away from Justin and not feel bad about it. Not just walk away, but she doesn't want to feel guilty about it. She wants all these things to pile up so she can say, see, I told y'all, he was doing this, that, and the other. When in doubt, the moment that Maya attacked Newton, Alexis was done, and she should have walked away then. But again, this is a situation where both of them were in the wrong. Both of them were in the wrong at this table because Alexis started throwing salt on him when she has to learn to take the higher role with Justin at some point, and she's not going to. Justin, and I don't want to say Justin needs to man up because I feel like that's insensitive and not politically correct at all. But I feel like Justin has to toughen up at some point because Justin does get moody when people don't understand what he's saying, but you can't articulate yourself enough, babe. No one ever knows what you're saying. No one ever knows. Because it's like Justin will come out and say what he really feels, but then it's like, but I mean at the same time, and then he goes and says the reverse because he wants to be liked. He wants to be liked. What's Justin's zodiac? I know y'all can find out everything else. Find out his zodiac. But that's it for Justin and Alexis. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode, and I will catch you guys in the comment section. Peace.